All right, hey guys, this is the video for the XYZ band. So you're at the top of where this XYZ band kind of is the top of the reading complexity band. All right, this band, understanding books at this level will get you through college. Well, I'll not say it will make you ready for college, but in many cases, it will also be those literary books that you're going to be reading, okay? Now, nonfiction texts can get a lot trickier, but remember, we're talking about our literary texts. So the XYZ band, a lot of it is going to be similar to what we just talked about with the UVWs, okay? Let's talk about plot. I want you to make sure you still realize the multiple plot lines, the growth, and then the decreasing of intensity. Different characters will be having different struggles, although they will all be working towards a mutual goal. One of the things here I want you to know, and this probably could happen in the UVWs too, but that once one conflict gets resolved, that resolution can lead to another conflict. So make sure you're aware there's going to be lots of peaks and valleys in your XYZ books. Also be aware that many of the conflicts may not get resolved until the next book in the series. If this is a series book, remember that's what authors want to do. They're going to leave you hanging at the very end of the book because they want you to read their next book. So just be aware of that. And again, expect confusion, kind of like we talked about for the UVWs. Okay. As far as time, we talked in UVW that it doesn't always go chronologically. Same thing for XYZs. One thing that I didn't mention in UVW that's very true to think about is the idea of parallel time. All right, in math, remember parallel lines are lines that will never meet, right? They're never going to intersect. So parallel time in a story is, a wonder is an example of parallel time. There's aspects of some of the Narnia books that are parallel time, particularly The Horse and His Boy, where you're going to read in chronological order, you know what's going on with a couple of your characters. Then that chapter ends and you go back, not to keep going in chronological order, but to go back and talk about what happened to the other characters during the time that you just read about. Right? So parallel time means, again, it's a stop in the chronological order, and it just goes back to help fill in either what's going on with different characters. Wonder did it, but instead of filling in what happened with other characters, remember that was a perspective switch, right? So you'd have like chapters 1 through 4, where everything that happened to Augie in Augie's perspective, right? Then maybe chapters 5 through 8 were everything that those same events happening, but through his sister's perspective, what his sister saw. So beware that if there's a little confusion, but wait a minute, I think we just talked about these events, right? Remember, you're getting information from either other characters or from another perspective, okay? So those are the things to be aware of in plot. Just know those are coming and just be ready for them. Jot down any notes or questions you might have. As far as character, I want you to focus on the very same things we've been building towards, your positive and negative traits, your evidence that proves it, looking at the pressures exerted on your characters. Why are they behaving the way they're behaving? And those less likable traits you might be able to justify. You'll say, well, Harry Potter did this because look what they were doing to him, right? But you still got to acknowledge those likable and less likable traits. Comparing and seeing what the relationship was within your characters, those are all the things I want you to continue, okay, as you're working through those. Setting, similar, kind of hang out and just figure out what's going on with the setting and how is my character influencing the setting? How is this place causing my character to be the way they are? Some of the books at this stage are going to be your characters up against society, right? There's the society in the book is against what the character believes in, and so a lot of times that will force their character into doing something they might not normally do, or that you might think is, wait, that's not very nice, but we look at it and we can see the pressures that are exerted on them that are causing them to do that. Look and see how they begin the story and how they end the story, because in that are your big hints at what the author is trying to teach you. Okay, so keep all those character thoughts still in your mind. That brings us to theme, which we just kind of touched on a little bit. Again, keep track of symbolism, literary things that meet or objects that mean more than what they literally are. And Henry Box Brown, when he was a slave and he would look and see the birds fly in the air, those birds symbolized freedom to him because they could fly anywhere they wanted to. They weren't bound to a certain place. Okay, so birds became a symbol of freedom. Look in your books for things that are representing a deeper idea in your books, and jot those down for sure, just briefly. Also, again, remember that in your stories, a lot of what the authors are doing is sometimes getting their opinions about our world in reality, and they're making up this story to teach you something about. It could be about religious beliefs. It could be about political systems. It could be about just treatment. What is justice? What is just and fair, and what is not? Okay, and sometimes authors do those in kind of silly ways. There are some Dr. Seuss books, like Horton Hears a Who, which we think of as a little kid's book, but it has some major themes that are representing that represent Dr. Seuss's ideas on political systems in the world. Check with Mr. Jones; he'll tell you it's true. Anyway, so just be in mind that a lot of these books will have big worldwide types of ideas behind them and themes, right? Characters are each going to learn a separate lesson, see how they work together, make sure you understand the plot's going to get a little bit dicey. It won't always be chronological. You're going to look for backstories, you're going to look for flashbacks, you're going to look for parallel time. It's really fun to get into these books because they're just so intriguing, and they keep you on the edge of your seat. So enjoy them, chat about them a lot, and remember, get your best thinking in your spreads. Don't write every single thing down, just those things that you think, oh, this is hugely important. Jot it down, okay? But just keep your mind thinking as you go through those things. All right, well, enjoy them, and I can't wait to see and hear all that you guys are reading. All right, carry on.